What's going on YouTube and cryptocurrency family? My name is Harry, and I'm the Crypto Vet. Thank you for tuning back in. Sorry I didn't get a video out yesterday, got pretty busy, but today I'm going to try to, since not much is changing as far as Bitcoin, I'm going to try to just sum up a couple of different cryptos too that were requested in the Discord, as well as give you an update on XRP and Bitcoin, and then I'll try to make another video today on Ethereum. If not, I'll definitely cover Ethereum tomorrow. But if you appreciate the content and want me to keep doing these daily videos, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I really appreciate everyone's support. If you're not already, follow me on Twitter at XRP Veterinarian, and then the link for Discord and Twitch is all down below in the description. But let's get started here. Here in CoinMarketCap, and let's just refresh it real quick. Bitcoin's down 4%, Ethereum's down just a little bit. We still haven't breached all-time highs. XRP taking even bigger of a hit here, and then Polkadot going crazy, and Chainlink also shooting up. But let's see, for the biggest gainers, we have IOST, which is one of the ones I'm going to cover today as requested. And then I'm also going to go over a little bit on Chainlink here. So again, if you guys have requests, I can do brief little technical analysis on these different coins, and as well if you want to know a little bit more about them, I can do some research. IOST is one that I'm very familiar with as far as what their goal is and how the blockchain works, because it's actually very similar to XRP. There are some differences, but again, very similar specifically with the type of consensus model they use. Let's go ahead and start into Bitcoin here. And for the past like 2 weeks now, we've been following some unique little charts here, and if I just hide what I have, we kind of noticed that, and it wasn't just me, tons of other what the hell do you even call us, chart analysis, analyzer guys, we've seen some things on the charts. One of the most common patterns that I show in charts for just simple things to see if they can confirm or not is just little head and shoulders patterns, right? Well, we originally thought that we might have been about right there on the head and shoulder, but now it's looking like we have maybe an even bigger one forming. And if we go to, say, something like the 6 hour here, and we'll add that, we can see it looks a little closer. And then if we even go to, say, something like the 12 hour, you know, we're getting all of the same views as far as the layout here. Well, when we're looking at that, we got to kind of see, well, what does this mean? Like, what are we seeing here? So we had a couple patterns that were forming. We were kind of forming this ascending wedge. We did break out of it. We can see that it was bought up pretty fast here on the 12 hour, and that today we actually closed above this support, which was where we dropped out of maybe about a week ago. So what does this mean for now? Well, it kind of depends. You know, we have to get above key resistance, and we have to stay above key supports if we want to maintain this, because just because we see something in the charts doesn't mean it has to happen, right? It just means that something is more likely to happen. So we have this head and shoulders. It's on a larger time frame. We were able to kind of break above this ascending channel here, and the reason I kept this channel on the charts was because for each shoulder we were staying pretty close into it. When we dropped below it, we bought up pretty quick, and when we got above it, we sold out pretty quick. So if we just keep checking on what we have right in front of us, let's kind of zoom it in here. And previously we had a line of support here, and we had a line of resistance here. And this line kind of changed. We were here at one point. We got over it a little bit, and then we came back under, and you can see that we still have the candle bodies above and below. So, you know, this could still be a valid resistance line. And we're getting closer and closer to the end. When we closed the daily candle earlier today, we're having a little bit of a difficulty getting above this ascending line, which is a little more bearish. Good news is, though, we have key support right here from the 36,500 to 700 region, which is where we actually dropped out of from a perfect little head and shoulders here, and also a symmetrical triangle measured move to the downside. So again, we're still kind of waiting to see. We're above the 20 daily exponential moving average, and we're still in an uptrend. You know, we may have created a low here, but still higher lows as we're going. You know, this was a low, and then this one's technically a little bit higher than we were over here. So still creating higher lows, and if we got rid of, say, these little patterns here, we could almost say that we're starting to form a giant triangle right here. which would be a beautiful way to continue on our bull trend, and we may not ever actually get down here like a lot of analysts are expecting, including myself, right? Because you got to take it, the second your pattern's invalidated or potentially wrong, it's okay, you can be wrong. I'm not right all the time, and neither will you when you're trying to do chart analysis. But if we take a look at this now, we kind of have some big options that can play out. We kind of came in, up, down, bouncing in and around. We could maintain this, so now a break of either two of these would be when I would start to flip bearish again. And you technically could go all the way down to where the wicks are, and it kind of gives us a little more room because not everybody's on agreement on where the supports and resistances are, right? Which we can tell by the fact that we're bouncing between multiple different patterns. We're breaking downwards from some, breaking upwards from others. So we have now a nice little symmetrical triangle that could be forming. So if we were to do a measured move, we could go one way would be from there to there, and then another way could actually be a continuation of this large deal from where we started all the way to the top. There's multiple ways to actually do this, and both of them will most likely turn out correct. It's just one will take much longer than the other to be confirmed. Well, that kind of gives us two crazy price targets here. One of them right at about 50,000 and the next one right at 60,000. And to me this was very unique because it puts us at two big evens. So one we'd hit first, next we would hit after that, but that only works is if we can hold within this pattern, and eventually more bulls would be present than bears, and we would continue the pattern, and that's why symmetrical triangles after an uptrend are considered continuation patterns. So that's definitely some good news, but taking all this stuff off, we don't know for sure what's going to happen. Doesn't, typically like 60-65% continuation, 35-40% it switches and goes to the downside. Again, if we go to the downside, you can see we have lots of support closer to the weekly exponential moving average, and lots of different little stair steps all the way down. So we're just going to have to continue to wait and see. Do I think we're going to get up to 50-60,000? I definitely do, but we may make some lower stops here, and each one of these lines here is a key area where we've had support, and you can tell by each one where the longer parts here are on the VPVR. So that's it. If I zoom in here on the hourly, we can kind of see that this was more of the ascending wedge. We're finding resistance trying to get over, but we found support here. So again, we'll just have to play it out and see. Alright, but back to XRP. These was the charts that we were following before within this large accumulation pattern that has two upper resistances and two lower supports. We are starting to find support here right on the median, where we found lots of support on this side as well as resistance. We found support, we kind of fought for it here. We were in an ascending channel within a giant symmetrical triangle, but we actually broke to the downside. And this is one of the times that it did again correlate with Bitcoin, but we're finding good support here at around 27-28 cents. But still bad news coming for XRP. You guys know I love XRP. It's one of my biggest holdings, but it's one of the ones that I think you will definitely have to sit on and wait while regulatory clarity is coming. Now we have Kraken, who's been kind of quiet in this mix, a U.S. exchange based out of, I believe, Washington, somewhere in the U.S. They're going to be halting trading for XRP. This is not delisting. This just means, hey, we're gonna play your game, homie. Like whatever the SEC says, we're gonna sit back and kind of wait. So we have this happening. We already had one exchange delist or halt 2 days ago, and then we have, I believe, Coinbase on the 19th. We have crypto.com here as well, I think, on the 19th. So we could see another little panic sell-off and still meet some of these lower levels, which would all be still within the Wyckoff accumulation, because until we actually hold in between the two upper supports and confirm on top of 37, it most likely won't break to the upside. However, these two lower supports will most likely hold, and if we do drop below, that would be in a case of a low volume spring that would push the price back up, and we would see only the price down here around 16 to 17 cents very briefly. If it did go lower, that still doesn't invalidate it as long as it is bought up quickly and we get back above support. So I definitely still think XRP is a buy, and in the future All the people who are calling me idiots are going to be like, man, that guy wasn't that stupid. Maybe he did know a little bit about what's going on. But since we're talking about XRP, let's talk about IOST token next. This is the Internet of Service, the Internet of Service things, I believe, or Internet of Service token. And it's a very, very similar blockchain to XRP. It runs off of the proof of, I think it's believe consensus, proof of belief, but in the end it's still a Byzantine agreement type consensus model, which is exactly like XRP. It has the ability for scalability and sharding, and can do high volume of transactions very, very quickly, and it's also something that won't need to have as much, it doesn't need to have proof of work to make the token. They also have, what was the other thing that I know was pretty popular? Oh, it's more similar to Flare in the sense that you can also do permissionless and trustless smart contracts with different types of things. And I'm pretty sure their goal was to be very, very similar to XRP, if not like a step better. But just looking at the charts here, we had our initial go at it here, drop down, nice little pump, and then we've been consolidating here for well over a year and a half. Charts that I've seen like this, when it comes their time, I usually see another little spike up. It gets close to where this was here, and then it comes down, and then it starts to do its own thing after that, especially if there's use case and utility. But as far as trading and what to do when I see these tokens, a couple different things. You can do simple fib retracement, and you can start the fib retracement right at the top price, because something has to mark where you're at and what you're doing, right? So we have just top to bottom, and we have no fib lines here, not even the 0.236 yet. So if things like this don't work, I'll get rid of that and I'll try different areas. So now if I go to here, we can see that all the way to the bottom, we got pretty close to the top, oops, right there, but we were bought off. And to coincide with this at the same time, we can draw horizontal lines for where we did top out at. So like right here at around 0.392 cents. So, you know, there's places where we've already seen we're resistant. So if a new person's trading this, that would be a logical place to sell if you bought it down here. What I'd like to see on this is to hold support right on the 0.236 and continue from there. And we are on the weekly. So if we bring it down to the daily, we're having a nice, good, little healthy correction, and it's holding at a much higher price than we were way over here, right? We are 422% higher than we were before, and we're holding steady at a drop of not very much, right? Let's see, a drop of only 18 or 20%. So this is a very, very good thing for the longevity of IOST. We are currently overbought right now, so I wouldn't want to buy in right here. I'd want to be sure that we confirm at around 2 cents, and based off of just previous resistance and whatnot here, we had about 0.17, 1.7 penny and a half. This would be possibly a good place to put in a buy order if it was to drop down to there, because I imagine it would hold support down at this point if you are longing it, or if you have and you bought down here, this would be a very good place to take some profits and potentially buy back in at half of a penny lower. But we are severely overbought right now here on the daily, and I believe we have been for the last week, right? Yeah, so it's been about 2 weeks of pumping, and we only have 2 days left on this. So something to keep an eye on. A very interesting project. It's been around for about 3.5 years, 4 years. But something to look out for. Definitely a coin that has a lot more room. A lot of times these will again form like a cup and handle. So they have a drop, they come up, they'll go here, they get to about this point, they'll come down, confirm the little handle, and then they'll come up, confirm above the highest that they had previously, and then that's when they'll start like an Elliott wave formation or some sort of parabolic move at that point, especially if it has good use case, which for the Internet of Service token does have good use case. And then last, we're just going to do Chainlink. I do have this one updated on my Discord, so it's just going to be real quick. I have a simple fib retracement here, and you can see that we had good resistance at the 0.618, but we blew past that, and now we're at the 0.786 and above here. Link has a lot of room to grow. It is an oracle. It is here for messaging and talking between blockchains, and it's going to be around. There's not very many oracles that are as successful as Chainlink or have as much use case as Chainlink at this time. Now, don't get me wrong, there could be other coins that come out of nowhere that could do the same thing, because there are several other oracles, but Chainlink is the one that a lot of people know about already. So if you were trying to catch a pump, I would wait for a little bit of a correction, because again, we're severely overbought. Last time we got into this territory, Link Marines didn't quite show up. There are some little sketchy scandals on the side with Link, as far as them hyping up their own token, then saying bad things about it, so that way the price drops so they can buy in more, but they sell before that information. Who knows what shit's real or true. But right now, still in a decent price range in my opinion, because I do think we'll be seeing Link well over $100 by the end of this bull run. So dollar cost average appropriately. But yep, as of right now, if we can confirm up here, maybe trade sideways and Bitcoin doesn't crash to the bottom, we definitely could be seeing a $25 Link, and most likely a $32 to $35 Link here in the next month or so. So this video went a little bit longer than I thought, so I hope that kind of answered some of the questions about Chainlink and IOST that people were asking in Discord. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.